So we're back in the workshop. I've lost my cameraman for this video. Sorry about the shaky quality. That's my fault. Also, I broke my tripod filming Treasuries, which you should go watch. I worked hard on that one. That one's cool. Anyway, I got Inventor pulled up. It's hard to see. Oh, there you go. I got Inventor pulled up. We're doing another tutorial. I've been getting into magic tricks recently, but I have a standard deck of bicycle playing cards, and so all I'm going to do is take some dimensions of that deck, make a playing card box that I can carry around so they don't get trashed, and that way my cards are protected and I don't have to worry about getting a new box. So we're just going to get into that. I'll show you everything. Should be pretty quick. Drop this video a like, subscribe, let me know what you guys want to see, because I'm happy to make pretty much anything. And I just realized I've been looking at the record button and not the camera, so sorry about that, but my eyes want to look at me instead of you. Anyway, let's get into it. So you won't be able to see my buttons up here. I need to get a new tripod. I'm working on it, but I will narrate what I'm doing. So all I'm gonna do is start a 2D sketch, pick any plane. I like the XY plane, but it really doesn't matter. And we're gonna go 2.5 by 3.5, so 2.5 wide, 3.5, just like that. So these are in inches. Sorry for anybody who doesn't live in America. I will avoid measuring things in bald eagles per hamburger, but I can't promise anything else. So now that I've done that, we're gonna finish sketch and go ahead and extrude our depth here. So measuring the thickness of my deck, I am getting about 0.64. So I'm going to upscale that to, let's go ahead and extrude this, 0.64. Let's go 0.7 just to be safe. That's a little much. Let's go 0.675. Probably good. So here's our stand-in deck of cards. So now all I'm gonna do is start a new 2D sketch, come in here, project the geometry of this face. So it turns the lines yellow, you press offset and offset this line, and now we get to pick the thickness of our box. So because of the way this works, we're just gonna go ahead and pick 0.05, which is pretty small but should be thick enough for this. I'm gonna go finish sketch and extrude this shape down about, let's see, so it was 3.5 deep, I remember that measurement. 3.5. Oh, my computer didn't like that apparently. 3.5, there we go. So that's the full depth of the box, but we're gonna need it a little thicker to add a top and bottom. So yeah, let's go ahead and extend it 3.51. I know this is gonna sound weird. This is just kind of my ghetto way of doing it. But now if you look here, we have 2 lines. So if I were to print this, you would likely not even be able to tell this little ridge here. See, I can zoom in and then you see it there. But for my purposes, now I can go in and start another 2D sketch here, project the geometry of this box, finish sketch, and perfectly eliminate that box. So now I have a shell. Now we're just going to do the same thing, start 2D sketch, project the geometry of this face, finish sketch, and we're going to extrude that right there. We're going to go 0.05 again. Oh, my bad. Just double click on your extrusion here. We need this to be cancel. We're gonna go ahead and edit this extrusion. Cancel that, sorry. Control Z, there we go. We need to extrude both of these, just like that. There we go, just like that. Money, money, money. Now we're gonna flip it back over, start 2D sketch. Once again, pick this face on the opposite side, and we're just doing the same exact thing. Click on that face. Now we have this whole box. Now we're just gonna close in the top, press extrude. Perfect.
Okay, so now we're back to a box of cards, a square. It looks just like the one we had before, but now, instead of being the exact size of our deck of cards, it's just bigger, and there's a hollow cavity inside of that box that should fit our cards exactly. So that's what I got here. So I can't prove that yet. That's what printing is for. But now, just for kicks and giggles, we're going to start 2D Sketch. We got to open it up, right? It's got to have a lid. So go ahead and rotate this so it's facing up. Let's see, how am I wanting to do this? Let's go ahead and come down. Let's go 1 inch. Yeah, that's probably good. So that's my construction line. And then half of 2.5 is 1.25. Took me longer than it should have. It's been a long day. So now this is middle and then 1 inch down. So this will be the center of my lid line. So now we're just going to hit escape, select this, right click, and those become construction lines. That way I don't have to worry about them. I probably don't need that in this case because all I'm going to do is a rectangle here. Just like that. Then we're going to offset this line here to... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want a rectangle now from this point. So my rectangle there was unnecessary. So we want to make sure it's 2.6 to line up the edges of the box. You press tab and then go 0.001. So that's a minuscule amount. See, it's just tiny, but it's enough to separate this so that we can finish doing the work before we separate it into 2 parts. So we're going to go finish sketch and extrude our tiny little rectangle right here. Go ahead and just say 12 just to make sure it gets through everything through here, and cut. So now if we rotate this around, we have a cutting plane right through the middle of our box, which has now separated our lid from our bottom. And this is where we can get creative with how it clips together. I don't think I'll get too creative. Maybe we'll put something fancy there. But if you wanted to call it good here, this would be an acceptable card box. There's no clip or anything to hold it together, though, which is the only problem. So for my purposes, I'm feeling an ace of spades, maybe? Let's see. Not big into freehanding, but we'll give it a go. See, we'll call it 130 just so it touches this edge here, and then we'll come into the middle. See, we'll go ahead and get that snap right there. Now all we're going to do is cut back. There we go. So now I have some of that. I'm going to go ahead and select all of that, make it construction lines. Come in here with a circle. It should snap here. Draw a circle there. Then we're going to come down, finish this line. We're going to come back up here to this top middle point right there, just like that. And then make sure it's tangent there. It's important that it's tangent. That's how we get kind of that curvature of the ace of spades. Come down in here because the circles will meet right here. Draw a line there. We'll come, maybe not down to the bottom. Let's come down at 115 degrees. 115, tab 1.35, you know, just for some nice numbers. Press enter, and then come over back to the middle. Oof. Let's see, right there, just like that. And then I'm going to draw a line straight up back through all of my points. Press escape, right click this line and make it construction. This way we have all of these here. Now all I'm going to do is press the mirror tool, select everything, and then change to mirror line, select my middle construction line, and press apply. So now I have an ace of spades on both sides. Now all I'm going to do is go ahead and trim this up. So we're going to press trim here, cut that out, If you hold down and drag, you can get an ongoing line. Sometimes that doesn't work so bad. So good. What am I trying to say? Sometimes it's bad. Okay, press escape. I'm going to go ahead and delete my geometry here. There we go. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that ace of spades. Not bad for freehand. See, so now that we've trimmed it, it extrudes as one face, whereas if we didn't, we'd have to separate it. Now I made everything all twirly. So now all I'm going to do is extrude it one direction towards me, and we'll go 0.025. So it's going to be pretty thin, like really thin. See, from the side you can almost not see it, but you will be able to see it. It will print with enough detail that it will pop out. And then all we're going to do is press Start 2D Sketch. And on the opposite side, which is now blank, we're going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and project this geometry. So we're clicking it on the back face, but we started our sketch on this face, which means now we should be able to just finish sketch and extrude this piece exactly how much we want it. So now we've got our ace of spades on there. And just for a little extra touch, right here on top, I'm gonna add my own logo. Just a little flex. I might cut this part out of the video because no one cares, but let's see. We'll come up. If you want to make my logo, I'm flattered. This is all we're gonna do. Just like this. This is the first time I'm truly figuring out the dimensions of my logo. So those lines should have given me, oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. So now I have a figure 8 right here in the middle of my box. I'll go ahead and readjust that so it's in the middle of the screen. So now all I'm gonna do is select all of this once again and make it construction lines. I like my construction lines. So now I'm gonna come back in with the circle tool and send out that circle, come in just a little bit. Let's see, we'll go, so if this is 0.388, let's go 0.288. That way it's 0.1 thick, so it's pretty thick. I like them thick, I like them chunky, 0.288, enter. Okay, so now we've got our figure 8. So here's one S right here, and the second S is backwards right here. So now, all we'll do is draw in a rectangle. So right there at the bottom. Same thing on the other side. So now we got S and S. So stuff with steel. Weird flex, but okay. So now we're just gonna press finish sketch. I know it doesn't look like anything yet. We're gonna go extrude. We're gonna up this to 0.035, so it's just a tiny bit thicker than anything else. I swear that looks like the Green Lantern logo right now. And I'm just gonna jump in here, and hopefully it'll let me fill at that contact. Okay, it's not going to. So actually what I'm gonna do is Control Z, come back into my sketch by double clicking over here on the left in my timeline. Now all I'm gonna do is draw an arc. I'll just kind of eyeball it from right. Let's go. Does it want to give me a locking point over here somewhere? It doesn't. Oh, there we go. We'll go in line with the inner circle. So all I'm gonna do is draw straight across just like this from either diameter on both sides. Hit escape. Now I'm gonna right click on both of these lines to make them construction. One thing some people find frustrating is when you right click on a line, you have to off click before you right click another line, otherwise it just keeps on the same line, which I agree is annoying, but remediable. Okay, so now we're just gonna come in and make up a number here. So let's go 0.13 and enter. So that's our magic number right there. Oh, that was wrong. Escape. Come back in with my arc. And 0.13, enter. Just like that. Now we should be good. We can extrude our Green Lantern logo here. There we go, that's much better. So now all we're gonna do is start 2D sketch again. We're gonna carve out this first line. I mean this first S. You know what, let's start with the forwards S. Give it this circle. You know what, I changed my mind. I'm actually just gonna carve out this whole section of the video. Maybe put it in a time lapse. We'll see. Okay, after that was about 10 minutes for me, about 0 for you guys. I have now added in my logo. It's S, and then a backwards S, stuffed with steel. Thanks for joining us. So this is going to be a longer tutorial than I thought it was going to be, but now we've got a pretty nice looking deck of cards. Well, card holder. So now, pretty simple. All I'm going to do is save it. Let's go card case 1. Always name it something that you're going to be able to find again. Press save. So now I've got that saved. Now we're going to go to save as, save copy as, card case 2. Make sure it's saving as an AutoDesk Inventor part. Press OK. Let's go to our home and open card case 2. Card case 2 right here. So now we have 2 identical pieces open. And that's because we need to separate the lid. So we're going to just go ahead and press Start 2D Sketch. Pick this face here. Card case 2 will be the lid. So now all I'm going to do is press Project Geometry. We're going to pick each half of the card case here. Finish Sketch. Extrude. We'll extrude both of these out. Let's see, we'll go ahead and this is going to be what we keep. We'll go 12 just to make sure we got everything, and then we're going to press OK. So now we have just the lid here. You can see there's a tiny separation line. I'm not super worried about that. All I'm going to do for that is jump back in here with Start 2D Sketch. Whoop, there we go. Scroll in here. We're going to just add back in this rectangle there. And we're going to add back in this triangle here in a second, but I'll show you how we do that. So now we're going to extrude this, not 12. Silly me. Let's go, I don't remember, 0.75 maybe? Is that too long, too short? Oh, it's too short. Let's see. That looks like 0.8 maybe? Too long? 775. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna have to do something very special. It's not that special. We're gonna go ahead and start 2D Sketch on this bottom face here, not on this flat plane here, but on that actual bottom face there. All we're gonna do is make a rectangle. So I lied, it wasn't that special. So if you come up, you just gotta make sure you bridge this gap here so you fill the whole triangle. So the length here doesn't matter. You just gotta make sure that it's covering the gap here, which is the Ace of Spades triangle. So we'll come across here, and if we look at our width, it's 0.05. We're gonna just drop that down to be 0.035. So not that number. That's the number that doesn't matter. 0.035, just like that. Hit enter. So now I have a good rectangle. Again, the length doesn't matter, just long enough to bridge that gap. That was a rectangle in the wrong spot. Once again, just another rectangle down here. Press tab so I'm dealing with the right number. 0.035. So now we're gonna go finish sketch, extrude both rectangles. Turn this over, flip around. I know that it should only be 1 inch deep. So we're gonna go 1 inch there. Oh, perfect, I was right. Make that a solid, and there you go. So just like that, we now have the negative of our Ace of Spades points, which seems pointless. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, this cavity here is going to accept the eight of spades. No, the space of Ace of Spades. Holy smokes, I am dying. Anyway, this is going to accept the point of the Ace of Spades on the other side, which will keep the box somewhat closed. And to help a little bit more, oh, we're gonna fix this point. We got a point missing there. We're just gonna take in a rectangle here, Draw it across there, finish sketch. And we're gonna extrude this rectangle 0.05. That'll just help with the strength. That wasn't really supposed to get cut out. Now to help with the closing of it, the ace of spades should be enough, but as a just in case, we'll go project geometry here, offset the inner rectangle 0.025, press enter, finish sketch, extrude, and we extrude this little tiny rectangle, which is now created a lip around the outside. We'll make the negative on the ace of spades half so that we can slip that together. We're going to extend this to 0.1. So not too long, but long enough. Press OK and save this half. This half is now done. Keep it open just for reference. Wow, that looks bad. We're just going to come in there and clean that up real fast. I don't even know what's going on in there. Project geometry. Woof. Ouch, that is an ugly logo. Finish sketch, extrude. Go down 0.025. Both ways. 0.05. 0.035. 0.03. Just making stuff up now. Oh my gosh, what is going on? We'll go solid there. And then we'll hit OK. Oh my goodness. Something got screwed up. If you had a logo on top, be more careful than I was. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, now we're gonna save that. Those devil lines are gone. Come back to card case here. Start 2D sketch. Now we're gonna do the near exact opposite. We're gonna go ahead and project the geometry here. Make sure I get it all this time. Except, okay, finish sketch. Extrude. Now we're just gonna get rid of these cut through. Okay. Accept. Start 2D sketch. Come over here. Finish clearing out the interior. This is rough. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we're cleaned out here. Again, this is what I was talking about. It's going to receive the other box. So now we're going to have to trim out what we don't want here. So we're going to go ahead and draw rectangles exactly the way we did before on the other piece. This time it's a negative. So again, the length doesn't matter as long as you cover the triangle. Tab 0.0. What was it? It was... oh gosh, I forgot. It's 0.035. No, it's 0.03, which leaves 0.2, which leaves 0.15. So I know that this needs to come in what was it, 0.3? Let's take it in 0.35. There we go. Okay, I think that's right. Go ahead and bring this side in. Tab 0.035. Finish sketch. Extrude these guys. Make sure they're cutting, bring them out, just like that. Okay, so there we go. This will have the nice negative to fit snug into. I'm going to come back here. Now we need to cut in our divot, which I believe, let's see, let's take a look here. It's 0.25. Okay, so if it's 0.025, we'll just go ahead and project geometry there. Offset our inner line once again. 0.025, enter, escape. We're actually going to extend this line to 0.03, and this should give us enough tolerance that it should friction fit nicely together. If it doesn't, I will claim that as my fault. So now we're going to come down, because the other one is 1 inch. I know that this one should be 2.5 even, just because of the way the measurements worked out. And oh my goodness, I was wrong. 0.26? Yeah, it was 2.6. Because of tolerances, press OK. So now we've got that. Oh, I didn't need to. I did that number wrong. See, this is me showing you my mistakes, because this divot doesn't need to be that deep. It needs to be at least 0.1, so we'll go 0.15, because that's how long the male end on our card case lid is. This is only this long, so it doesn't need to go all the way to the bottom. That way our cards will still fit nice in there. Now we're going to just do a few cleaning up things, so I want to actually project the geometry of my aces of spades, extrude them, not that far, 0.05 again. That way they're thicker. Do that to both sides. But I'm extruding outwards, so it doesn't matter that they have it to fit into a negative cavity, if that makes sense. Because it doesn't change the inward width, so it should fit pretty snug anyway. So now I'm going to do a fillet right here on both aces of spades, just like that, but not on the pointed part, because I like it that way. Hey Emma, what you doing?
Mom said I could have a ride.
Oh, okay. Do you need help? Okay, give me a sec. So we're just gonna round this off 0.05 to give it a nice little bevel, rounded bevel. See, so now it's still got those sharp spade points there, but it just feels a little softer around the heart piece, which I kind of like. So we're going to actually continue with the fillet trend. I'm going to go ahead and fillet all the outer edges of our box. That way it just has a nicer feel in the hand. Not huge bevels, just 0.05. Gives it kind of a nice feel, just a nice little touch to having your box. If you've ever picked up a perfectly square box, which unless you have a 3D printer you likely haven't, they are very sharp. Do not feel good. Specifically, make sure you round off these corners because those come out brutal. So we're just going to go ahead and apply that. Click our X. So now we've got a nice bevel box. We're going to have to do the same bevels on the other piece. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But that's the end of this half of the box. So we're just going to save this. Jump over to here. And bevel these pieces as well. Pretty simple. Click. Click.
Actually, still I got it.
You sure? Okay, click. 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 Cool. And now to make this a little nicer, oh, it's got to be the same bevel. That would look very bad. 0.05, just to match the other bevel. Bring that in. And we're good. So that looks very nice to me. I left my logo a little proud there. These corners here might be a little sharp, but I can hit those with a file and bring them down. So that should be the end of that piece. We're going to save and then export both pieces as an STL. Load them into your slicer of choice. I always save mine to the desktop just so they're easy to find and move them into a file later. But move them into your slicer of choice and set it up on your printer. I have a CR10. In my Best Car Steel video, I show how I set up my Cura. So go ahead and watch that one if you need a suggestion. I'll check back in once the deck is printed and we'll talk about it.
And it's off the print bed, works perfect, nice fit, barely tell that it's even a box. I'll leave all the dimensions, the drawing somewhere, maybe up on the screen right now. But thanks for watching. Next week we might build a flamethrower, I haven't decided yet. See you next time.